Hi! On the Woodpecker today? Yes, I'm installing automatic lights in my staircase. But the most interesting thing is how I made this oval box. Renée's rat is even uglier now, if that's possible. After ramming into a closed door, she lost the sight in her right eye. This doesn't make her look any better. We were even forced to get her eye removed. Being blind in one eye doesn't bother her too much. She does everything she used to do during the day, but at night it's another story. So Renée asked me if I could install automatic lights in the staircase for her rat. To do this, we were forced to move this pantry full of paint cans to gain access to this wall. The first thing I do is drill some holes in the pre-finished walls for the sensors and the lamps. When all the holes are done, I can stick the lamps in place. As sensors, I use simple pet laser pointers from the dollar store that I've torn apart. After removing the laser from the metal case, I hot glue this to the back of the hole I made. We have one sensor at the bottom of the stairs and one at the top. Now I can solder all the sensors wires to the PCB I made to start and stop the lamps. This is what the circuit looks like. When the laser points to a simple light sensor, the lamp can be activated. I also put another sensor to turn the laser on automatically if there's not enough light in the stairs. If you're asking yourself, why lasers instead of motion sensors? Well, a motion sensor can't detect rats this size, but not even the tiny legs can escape the laser. It's not only useful for the thing, but also for us. But after 5 months like this, I decided to put this in a box. I begin by drawing a bunch of ovals for the box I want. I begin with the mold for the box. Now that I have this file, I can cut the first layer of the box out of an old piece of MDF. I still have enough space for the second layer. It's getting pretty tiresome to follow the bit all the time. So for the last layer, I use my dust shoe. Now you can't see anything, but on the right side, there's no dust. After cutting the tabs, I can glue all 3 pieces together. While the glue dries, I start surfacing the wood I think I will use for the box. But spoiler alert, this doesn't work at all. After ripping 3 strips of different thickness, I give up. I go to the store and buy this piece of thin cardboard that I cut in 7 strips to the height of the mold. Because of all the time it took to get to the store and back and cut this, the glue is dry enough so I can sand the mold. Then I spread glue on the first strip. Since this is the first one, I only put glue after a full turn. When I'm done, it's possible to roll the strip on the mold. To hold this together, I use an elastic band. Now I just have to repeat this 6 more times. On all the remaining strips, I spread glue on all the surface. With this amount of strips, I was able to figure out that if I roll a fresh glued strip around and remove it right away, the glue has time to spread to the outside of the box, and when I roll it again, it doesn't want to move on me. Working with cardboard like this brings me back to my kindergarten time. The next step will be a noodle necklace. This is the result after gluing 7 strips. I just have to leave this alone until the next day. Now that the glue is dry, I want to see if this is stiff enough. To my big surprise, it's super sturdy. But I don't know why I was doubting this, because some pieces of furniture I made similar to this. But the cardboard is not even. I need to take care of that. Now I take the outside measurements for a holding jig. As a matter of fact, one of the numerous ovals you saw before was this measurement. Now it just needs to be cut. Then I have to make sure the inside is smooth. This will be perfect. I just need to cut this in half. Perfect. It just has to hold the box in place now. For this, I clamp both pieces and screw strips of plywood to the sides. Now I can take care of the inside rabbet. The first thing I do is drill the aligning holes in the spoil board. Next, I put some small lengths of dowels inside the mold's holes and put this in place. After screwing this to the table, I can begin to cut the front rabbet for the plexiglass. But here I made a huge mistake. I should have removed the inside mold, but I thought it was adding some extra support. I was wrong. Cutting 66mm deep with this bit, which doesn't have that amount of cutting height, was really a bad idea. So when the bit was unable to evacuate the dust, it was becoming too hard on my spindle, and here we can even hear it stop by itself. I stop this right away, put everything in place the best I can, and redo the rabbet, but this time without the mold. This went super well. I should have done that from the start. If I look at the final result, I can see that I was not totally centered. One side of the rabbet is wider than the other one, but I think it will be okay. But just to make sure, I have to cut the plexiglass. To do this, I use for the very first time the special plexiglass bit I bought, and I'm doing it super slow. I broke several bits while trying to cut plexiglass before. That's because I was going too fast. When it's done, I still have to take care of the tabs. The inside walls of the rabbet are quite rough, so I have to sand them a little. But this is not enough, because the plexiglass doesn't fit. I have to fix this. I sand it by hand. This way I'm more confident I won't remove too much. Now this is perfect. If I push hard on it, it can sit perfectly in place. It's not really done yet, because I still have a back to cut. After removing the fuzzies, it fits perfectly in place. But I can see that there's no way I would be able to screw the back in place. So I go back to the CNC and cut some pieces to glue to the inside of the box. But this is way too thick. Since I need 2 pieces for the top, I just cut it in 2. Now I can glue this inside the box and wait for the glue to dry. When it is, I sand the outside of the box. I have to do this because when I was gluing it, I put glue all over the outside. While I'm doing this, I realize that I don't like to see such a wide edge on the top. So I route a chamfer. I just need to remove the burn marks and give it the final sanding. But I don't like a white box like that, so I do some stain tests. That's when I realized that it's hard to stain paper. But I like this color, so it's time to use it to stain the box inside and out. This is the final result. But I wasn't expecting the stain to dry so slowly. Last time I used it, it was dry after a blink. Now I have to wait until the next day to be able to spray 2 coats of varnish. The day after this is the big day, the day that I can put this in place. I begin by drilling some holes to hold the back in place. Then right away I remove the screws and put the plexiglass in place. I can finally bring it inside my old shop and put the electronics inside. This was our automatic lighting in our staircase. If one day you want to do something similar, I suggest you use a laser. It's perfect for small pets. But the best bet would be making an oval box, which you can do without a CNC. A bandsaw would also do the trick. I know this wasn't a big project, but we and the rat use it several times a day, every day. And see you soon for another episode of The Woodpecker.